What's up, guys and girls? It is Robby James here, and welcome to the next lesson where I am going to teach you how to ride in really choppy and strong wind conditions with your foil. So it is important to learn because being in waves, especially in white water, is gonna seem a bit tricky at the start because there is a lot of turbulence under the water and there's a lot of things that you have to focus on in order to know how to ride really good in choppy, wavy conditions. Without further more to say, let's get into the video. So as you can see here, it's about 20-25 knots, maybe even more, and the waves I would say are about like 1.5-2 meter waves. So these are conditions which you really want to focus and master how to really get comfortable in these conditions, because when you're on a foil, you're going to realize that going over waves and being able to ride your foil in white water is a technique, and you want to master this technique to be able to be comfortable in any conditions with your foil. So I'm riding right now with good amount of speed. I have my bar pulled in maybe 70%, and very important, you don't want to keep your bar fully pulled in, as you don't want to be charging towards the wave. You almost want to go over it very gracefully and almost hop over it with your foil instead of just like dive through the wave, if you know what I mean. So I'm going and I've got my bar about 70% with a good amount of speed. And very crucial to remember, as I'm going past the wave, I'm actually lifting my foil higher and higher so that my foil is almost at the limit that the foil can be ridden. And the reason why is because when you pass the wave, you will always dip down, and you want to have enough room for your foil to dip down so that you can ride over these waves smooth and effortless. So as you see, as I'm going over the waves, most important, from pulling in the bar 70%, I'm actually letting the bar fully out so that the kite is barely pulling me as I'm going through these waves. And look at that. From having a really high mast, my foil is now almost in the middle of it due to the change of having a lot more water behind the wave. And this is very important because if you ride the foil too low, basically your board might dip down and you could nosedive the foil, which would cause you to fall off your foil, and that's not what we want. Okay, and here's another wave that I will show you. And for example, that's for white water. What if you have a huge hump coming towards you? What do? Very important to realize what I do. So for this instance, I'm actually keeping the foil as low as possible instead of when I'm going over white water, which I'm keeping the foil as high as possible. And the reason why is because when you're going over a big hump, it does the opposite, where the foil is actually trying to lift as much as it can due to the power of the hump of the wave. So that's why it's very important for you to keep this foil really low and try to really go over it with not too much speed, and really feel how the lift of the wave is actually lifting your foil up so you can control that board to keep the foil nice and stable. As you see, I'm riding really low, really low. As I go up, oh, this one I actually popped over the foil. Pop with the foil. And very important as well, if you see a wave, and let's say the wave, like for example this wave here, it's literally breaking as I'm about to hop over it, and it's a pretty big wave, the most important thing that you have to do is you have to almost do a mini jump over the wave. And this is your last resort, because if you can't find enough time to go over the wave and it breaks just in front of you, instead of letting the foil hit you and your board might be carried away where you have to body drag to your board, It's way better to just jump with your foil and make sure that you get over that wave smoothly so that you can get to the back section where the waves are not breaking anymore. So you see I hop with my wave, and as I put the wave, as I go over the wave, I'm actually getting power of the foil. And look here, I'm riding the foil really low, really low. And the reason why is because as I go over this wave, the foil is literally trying to go out of the water. So I'm having to put a lot of front foot pressure onto the board in order to keep the board stable while I'm going over these waves. So again, let's do a little recap from everything. So when it comes to white water, you want to keep the foil as high as possible. Reason why is white water causes a lot of turbulence, which causes your foil to dip down as you're trying to ride the foil. So as you're going through white water, right, you want to keep the foil, as you see, as high as possible. And when you go through white water, the foil will actually dip down to medium height of the foil. First one. Second one, if you have a hump that's coming towards you, you want to do the opposite. You want to keep your foil riding as low as possible, because the power generating from the hump will actually increase your lift and will actually pull your board up. And if you're riding too high of the foil, you will break the foil and you will not be able to get over this wave. So for a normal hump without any white water, you want to keep the foil as low as possible. And for an instance, what if you have a wave that's breaking too close to you and you do not have enough time to make it over? Your last resort is to be able to pull the kite towards 12 and do a mini hop or a mini jump over the wave so that you can get over any breaking waves that are too high to be able to go through. And that's very important to know, because the last thing you want is to lose your foil board and have to body drag in these not really comfortable wavy conditions. So for that instance, I hope you guys enjoy, and most importantly guys, leave me a like, comment, and a subscribe. Let me know what else you guys want me to teach you guys next. And yeah, looking forward to seeing you guys and girls in the next video. Have a good one. Take care.